There's not a better time that I can think of in the last decade where there's such a hunger for yield and such a hunger for real businesses doing real things.
The emerging markets to buffer the kind of weather, the kind of storm we're seeing in the world's developed markets. Where's the growth going to be coming from?
It's a good question, Nina. I think the emerging markets is right to be exceptionally cautious because, we spend quite a bit of time talking to particularly our relationships in the Middle East as well as in Asia, et cetera. What they're saying is they can't figure out what the narrative is. They're trying to frame all the news and noise that comes in on a day-to-day basis. And they're determining whether or not there's a temporary failure of the economic system as a result of, bad financial models and poor role models, or if there's something deeper and more structurally flawed.
We're joined now by Robert Bush. He is the co-founder of Majlis Partners, a wealth management firm here in Dubai. Robert's an American, but he's been here for 6 years, so he knows how Dubai works. He's very dialed in. Robert, thanks for taking some time to join us tonight. Do you believe, or do you agree with Mohammed El-Arian? Do you think that perhaps this situation is not contained or that it is a broader reflection of something greater?
Well, I think part of, and who am I to disagree with Mohammed, who is
very quickly, 1 year from now, will Dubai be in a stronger position than it is today or a weaker position?
Smart money says that Dubai will be absolutely in a stronger position. I think that there are a couple of reasons for that. Past is prologue. 15 plus years ago, the UAE government and the Dubai government made some pronouncements about what it was trying to do going forward. And we saw the result of that. We saw 5-time multiples on GDP. We saw an ambitious, small emirate in the region turn into an icon of ingenuity and etc. So don't bet against this government. These guys have set their mind to it, and the same energy and focus they put into putting Dubai on the map, they're going to put that same energy, I believe, in making sure that Dubai stays there in a year's time.
Robert Bush, co-founder of Majlis Partners. Robert, one of the guys that moved here for the opportunity. Robert, good to see you.
By Robert Bush from Majlis Partners. Good to have you, Robert. Let's kick off then. Where are the opportunities when we look at this diversification strategy away from the oil revenues?
Yeah, I think we should first define our terms. Good morning to you, Yusuf. Historically, when people talk about diversification, they're simply talking about asset diversification, right? So a little bit of equity, a little bit of bond, or a little bit of emerging markets, a little bit of developed markets. And what we found that in extremis, that what we thought was real diversification was not, because asset diversification is not risk diversification. And it's very important then when you're looking to assemble assets or choosing your countries or your companies that you start to look at the risk factors. It's also important to understand that there are these different types of innovation have different types of impact. Only the companies that have created that next version, the iPhone X, for example, most of the benefits go to that individual company.
Jeśli chodzi o różne
How do you define risk?
If you think of risk as probability, then you are a little bit more conservative when you realize that there's a cost to that return, the risk that we're willing to accept, and then look to see if we're happy with the return and not the other way around. When early stage investors are now finding, owners of intellectual property, the burden that they're putting to sweat that asset, to sweat that property is very different today than it used to be. You have situations now where you've got this language of, is this the next unicorn? Is this the next billion-dollar company? What can we do with this company? Can we take it public? So
not only do you have to look at the quality of the intellectual property, you really have to sort of look at the profile of that early stage investor to make sure that there's really an interest and a match and an appreciation for that property, for that intellectual work that you put in.